Hi, my name is Margaret Wildeman, and I'd like to start out by asking my audience a question. Have any of you ever attended a special celebration for someone who's being honored, such as a wedding or a confirmation? Well, if you have, that you know that both of these services usually start out with a church service. Well, my daughter and I were asked to be part of a special celebration called a Mexican Quinceanera. And in this celebration, it's rather fascinating. There's some special parts to the service, and I would like to now share what this is about with you. Now, in Mexico, a quinceañera is a religious tradition in which a young woman who is honored for transitioning from childhood into adulthood. This party usually happens when she's 15 years of age. Now, it starts out with a special mass for this occasion. In Mexico, there's a traditional Catholic service that's held in a church. Now, according to Diane Holt Goldsmith, in her 2002 book, Celebrating a Quinceanera, she says that the young woman has a special dress that she wears. It's usually pastel colors. It can have jewelry on it, or, sequins on it, or however fancy that the family wants to be. Also, she wears a crown. And as part of her honor, she sits in this honor seat that is sat right next to the altar. She is allowed to be accompanied by 14 girls who are called damas and 14 boys who are called lords. It doesn't have to be that many. It's just what the family wants. If they want 14, that's fine. Okay. I did an interview with Annette Chavez, who is a Mexican friend of mine who hosted the quinceanera that my daughter and I were a part of. And she talked about the thanks prayer at the service and the blessing of the gifts. This is a big deal. It's a very focal point of the service because the gifts include jewelry. It's specially designed. There's a special pillow that's part of the gifts, and the last doll that the young woman receives as her 15th birthday. The emotional part of the service, as part of the article, is when the young woman gives a bouquet of flowers to the Virgin Mary. Now, after the service, of course, there is a large reception. Large reception includes family, friends, and the whole community. The whole community is invited. Now, of course, at this large reception, there is a lot of Mexican food. The Mexican food is prepared for usually by the mother. Sometimes it's catered in, but usually the mother and family and friends spend a whole day or two preparing for this dinner. It's quite an occasion. Now, something else that's special at the reception, according to an article published in the Quinceanera website called The Tradition of the Quinceanera by Dale Holt Palfrey on September 20th, 2009, there is a piñata at the reception. Now, a piñata is sometimes it's in the shape of an animal. It's some kind of container made of paper, and it's hung by the ceiling at the reception, and it's for the kids. The kids try to knock it down and break it open, and there's candy and treats inside. It's just a little added part of the reception that the kids really enjoy. Now, after dinner, there's music and dancing. At the beginning of the dancing, there's a presentation of the damas and the lords, just like there would be at a wedding reception. Now, each dama and lord enter as a couple and perform a waltz when they get into the room. And each dama and lord does this. Comes in and they perform a special waltz. Then the young woman enters into the room with her court of honor, and she dances a special waltz with the court of honor. they've been practicing these waltzes for a while. Now, according to the same article published in the Quinceanera website, A Tradition of the Quinceanera by Dale Hoyt Palfrey on September 20th, 2009. Her first waltz is a very special waltz because it is her first waltz with her court of honor. Now, according to Mexican tradition, a young woman under 15 is not allowed to dance with anyone outside the family until she turns 15. So this is a special waltz. And after this waltz, she then waltzes with her brother and her father. And after the family has done their tradition, then the community and friends are invited to join the dance floor. Now that I have presented to you some of the aspects and the traditions of Mexican quinceañera, it may seem a little similar to a wedding reception, but there are differences as well. But the main focus in a Mexican quinceañera is the young woman transitioning from childhood to adulthood. There's a mass in her honor. There's a thank you prayer. There's the blessing of the gifts. There's a special dinner involved. A huge reception and dancing her first waltz with her court of honor. And then dancing the waltz with her father. I hope that you've enjoyed my presentation as much of the Mexican quinceañera as much as we enjoyed going to the special celebration ourselves. It was quite rewarding and it was very interesting to follow. I hope I've also given you some ideas of how you can plan your next special occasion and make some young woman or man feel very special. Thank you.